Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network for another installment of Bodybuilding Today, where we talk about all things hot topic and trending in the world of bodybuilding. Now, we do have quite a few interesting stories for you today, so consider subscribing and watching the rest of the video if you enjoy the topics discussed today. Now, we are just on the precipice of 4 weeks out from the 2024 Arnold Classic. We do have a couple physique updates coming for you for the Arnold Classic, but before we get into that, we have a physique update from Goodvito in his road to his pro debut, and I don't know off the top of my head. I was wondering if we had any bodybuilders currently in the league, any pros that rock a goatee. I remember Hottie, when he first was coming up, he had a goatee for a little bit, but I don't think anyone has this these haircut for facial hair. So I don't know, kind of a fun little thing to look at. But when I look at this guy, I mean, he looks he's getting closer and closer to stage ready. And from what we understand, he wants to do the one of those Brazil shows. Now, will that, is he going to roll into that and win that show? I'm not sure. The lineup has not been announced yet, but if it is going to be a Brazil show, you can expect rafabrandaopro to be there. You can expect Horse MD to be there. There's a couple other guys that we could expect to be there for at least people that have been competing strategically and historically in those Brazilian shows. So best of luck to Goodvito. We have some updates from rafabrandaopro, just around 4 weeks out from the Arnold Classic, and we will talk about him in just a second. One of the channels I follow a lot of, Who is the Best Bodybuilders, was talking about his picks for the top 10, and I will say that I think rafabrandaopro is looking and shaping up to be in that conversation to, if not top 3, maybe even top 2. It's really hard to say. We don't have any confirmation from Hadi Chupin yet that he's made it to the U.S., so there is still that massive question mark. If Hadi doesn't make it to the show, it's essentially a shoe-in for Samson to win the show. And again, looking at what rafabrandaopro is looking like right now, I think he's perfectly timing this prep. Him and his team are really dialing it in, and I'm very excited to see exactly what they've got going on once they get on stage and once they get all tanned up. Now, I just talked about this a second ago. Who is the best bodybuilder, sharing some updates and their predictions for the 24 Arnold Classic in the top 10. And I will say that John De La Rosa is going to be creeping into this top 6 pick. And I think that's phenomenal for this guy. He did do quite well last year. And if we continue to see him improving as he's made his return to the stage, we could definitely expect him to be in that top 6. So solid pick there. I would say Akeem Williams is a tough one because we haven't really seen much at all physique update wise from him. And then we have the big question mark of Justin Rodriguez being all the way at the bottom. And you remember, was it 2 years ago or even last year? I don't recall. He was in that conversation for top 3 and then slipped coming into finals. So I think a lot of people are writing him off. We will talk about Justin in just a second separately, but we have some Breon Ainsley, the Black Swan, sharing some updates for the Classic Physique division coming into the Arnold Classic. And a lot of people in the comment sections were saying he is very comparable and on the same tier as Sebum and Ramon. They didn't mention Urs Kelsinski, and I honestly think that it's not going to be as blown out of a show as what people are saying. Ramon is obviously the clear favorite here, but I think that there is definitely room and possibilities for Breon to battle it out for that second place finish. And, who knows, maybe there's a crazy insulin dump and then Ramon shows up off where Breon could take the Arnold Classic title. I don't think that is outside of the realm of possibility, and it's definitely something I think would make this Arnold Classic very exciting, as it's not always a fun show when you know the person who's going to win. I like to see things get a little exciting. Speaking of exciting, Justin Rodriguez, this is the photo that everyone's been talking about, and it's just not a good shot for him. I'm not sure what it is, if he just looked really flat that morning or what's going on, but he looks kind of compact. He looks downsized. We're going to look at some footage in just a second where it gives you a little bit better look of him when you're in the gym. You know, you're pumped up, you're full, you're the best you can possibly look like. And I think that might be a little bit more of a accurate representation of what Justin's going to look like on stage. This footage right here, and you'll see in just a second, he kind of like walks out a little bit and shows off kind of like the natural resting width that he's got going on. And I think that's a pretty solid look for him. I definitely don't think he's going to be placing second to last here unless, you know, something really wrong goes on. But he was a top 3 guy at Legion, which was just a few months ago. So you can't count the guy out. I mean, he's definitely somebody who's been doing well for a while, and I think he's going to continue to do well. Somebody who we haven't ever really talked about on the channel, but was definitely an icon in the fitness industry, if you will, at least when I was growing up, was Carl Weathers. Now, I guess not really when I was growing up, but seeing those Rocky movies as a kid, this guy was, you know, one of those idols that you kind of looked at as having a great physique. And I'm not sure the reasoning behind his passing, but it did come out recently, and RX Muscle was reporting on it, that Carl Weathers, aka Apollo Creed from Rocky, did pass away. So, you know, very unfortunate to hear about his passing. Of course, here on BNN, I do want to give our condolences to his family, and hopefully they are taking this time to appreciate him and reflect on his amazing life. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the news. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing, and I will see you probably tomorrow. Content hasn't been coming out daily as I've been kind of adjusting my life schedule to fit more things in. So I hope you do enjoy the videos that do come out. But if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you in the next one.